Howdy folks, I was asked to do a bit of I was asked how I do my CA finish, so I thought I'd do a bit of a tutorial. So far I have dry sanded this up to, 240 grit, and now I'm going to wet sand. One thing I picked up off of another bloke off of YouTube was to wet sand with linseed oil, which actually works pretty good. So this is what I'm using, just, I don't know, raw linseed oil. Don't need much. Now I'm going to sand with 3/6 grit. Now apparently using linseed oil is beneficial in that it won't make the timber swell like water will. And of course our timber's raw at this stage. So a bit of a sand for 360. And then I'll jump on 400. And you're probably wondering, will the linseed oil react with the CA? Apparently not. Yeah. Time will tell, I suppose. I don't know. That's 400. And then we'll actually go to 600. Try and be as quick as I can with this, but it's not a quick process, so it's probably going to be a pretty long video. I'll probably speed it up later. Okay, that's our 800, and that's it for that step. I'm going to come in and clean off our linseed. Just take our excess off. What we're going to do is we're going to come through with some alcohol. The bloke used denatured alcohol. I'm using isopropyl alcohol. I don't know if there's a bloody difference. I don't know. It works for me. The point here is to, I guess, clean off as much of that linseed oil as possible. Whatever you do, don't use acetone on a hybrid. You're probably thinking, oh, acetone will do that better, but it will actually ruin your resin. It'll activate it and it'll go all soft and you'll just destroy your blank. That's that. One thing I find too, using the linseed oil, it tends to give you a bit more richness to your burl, because the CA can kind of lighten your timber a bit, I found. I'm just going back over it because there is some cracks with a little bit of linseed oil really in there. Just trying to get it out as much as possible. I don't know whether it makes a difference or not. can start applying our CA finish. I use paper towel. Now I will credit, what is it, that pen bloke. He basically gave me the steps required to do this. You should go chuck him a follow. I have adapted it a little bit to suit me. You will probably have to adapt to suit you. I find everyone's a little bit different, you know, as far as the speed of the lathe, how much pressure you're applying, if you're CA, what you're using, blah blah blah, all that sort of crap. Everyone's different. Find what works best for you. Use this as, I don't know, stepping stone, rough guide. Ow, just cut my finger with the scissors. Yep. Now, everything I'm going to use here, you can source from Pop's Shed. Pop Shed, Pop Shed. All right. Now, first, we're going to go with 2 coats of thin CA, and we just let it dry naturally. I have my RPMs around 300. Works for me. Coat 1. Just give it time to dry. Just like that. No, not yet. This shit is noxious. I really should be wearing some sort of mask when I'm doing this. I haven't got one that will filter chemical. Yeah, that's dry enough. And coat 2 of the thin. So 2 coats of thin. Now you'll end up with super glue all over your fingers. Wear gloves. I have a rag handy just to clean it off. Because as that shit cures, it fucking burns. Now, we're going to go with medium CA, this stuff. And in between, we're going to spray with activator. All right. Hopefully I've got enough activator to get through this. I'm running out. Got to get more. Now, handy hint, what I do is I cut the appropriate amount of paper towel for the number of coats I'm doing, because you'll fucking lose count. So I'm going to do 13 coats. Okay. Coat 1. Now this is extremely important, all right? Yes, the activator sets your super glue instantly, but if you don't wait for that activator to dissipate off your piece and you go again, then your super glue is going to set instantly and you get big ridges. I learned that the hard way. Or if you don't get big ridges, you'll get white spots. Now at this point, all I'm going to do is apply my coats and spray with activator. So what I'll do is I'll speed the video up now and we'll come back. So we're back, folks. Now you can see all these ridges. Well, I hope you can see them. I don't know if you can see them. But what we've got a heap of ridges. Mine are really quite shallow. I've got a little bit of a lumpy bit here, but it's all right. So what we need to do is now wet sand this and get it all smooth and then polish it up. So let's get on with that. Now, if you're doing wet sanding on your lathe, you probably see there's quite a bit of rust on my lathe bed, but meh. I strongly recommend sticking a tray underneath where you're wet sanding. Catches a lot of the water. Now, if you remember, before we started applying our CA finish, I finished at 600 grit. Now that's where I'm actually going to start sanding. Fucking son of a bitch. Let's get it done. Sorry, I was swearing at the people trying to call me. But I know I'm filming. Speed your lathe up, whatever you wet sand at. Oh, that's 600-ish. And we're using water because our blank's sealed. slurry. Stop our lathe. Grab some paper towel, dry off our blank. And what's going to happen is you're going to see all these little shiny spots. They're your lows, and you keep sanding until they're gone. I've got a couple of really minor ones, but I'm okay with it. Overall, I'm happy with what I'm looking at. I know that the rest of those are going to sand out through the following grits. So now we're going to jump to 800 grit. Now I'll move pretty quickly from here. Jump to 1200. Sorry about that, notes. 1200. If you're wondering where I get my wet sandpaper from, I get it from Body Shop Paint Supplies. They'll have all the grits you need in wet sanding paper. So all my really super fine stuff, 1500 onwards, I get from there. I also get one of my buffing paste, my final buffing paste from there. I'll show you that later. Everything else, bones, mate, just bones. So that was 2000, now we're at 2500. And that's that. Bleeding. Do you know, I've cut myself 3 times now with those scissors cutting fucking paper. I think I would have learned by now. Dry off your bit. Have a look. Schmickaz. But dull, really dull. That's because it's been wet sanded. Step on the lathe. Now I use this stuff on the lathe. Once again, get it from Pop Shed. Bit of rag this time. Lathe, decent whack. Probably about 1200 and get to polishing. I'm not applying a ridiculous amount of pressure, just enough to be actually achieving something. You can see we're already getting a crazy high shine on here, just from that micro gloss. Yeah, looks good, doesn't it? Beautiful. But I like to go one step further. I'll come back to you. Right, folks, I've literally just moved these around to my buff, walked away from the lathe and over to the buff. Now, as you can see, that's looking really good. I haven't done anything other than what you saw me do on the lathe. But it's not shiny enough for me. So, I use this gear on my loose leaf buff. Compound 4800, I think it's called Compound 5000 now. It's made by Cartec, I think it is. Can't find the friggin' label. Yeah, that mob there, Cartec. Anyway, available from the body shop, paint supplies. So, I just scoop some out and throw it on my buff. Don't need a lot, not for a piece like this. A lot of it's going to flick up off your buff wheel. This is a loose leaf buff, don't know if I said that. Just on my shitty Ryobi buff grinder. And I'll just buff away. Alright, just give me a sec. Okay, so you can see it's shiny. I use a lens cloth, like a glasses lens cloth, to clean off the residue left behind from the buff. It's just like a milky film that gets left behind from that product. I find anything other than something like a lens cloth tends to scratch. But then again, I am incredibly fussy. So there you go. How's that for some shine? Did you notice the difference between the last step and this step? Notice how all those reflections got really crisp? And it looks wet, doesn't it? But it's not. That's just a ridiculously high shine. So yeah, there you go, folks. If you have any questions as far as anything in this clip, feel free to ask me. I'm always open to share. I'm not one of those keep shit to myself people. You should all know that by now. Anyway, there you go. Catch you soon.